Hey team, this is AJ with Trading Trainer on the evening of Monday, July 19th with your Trading Trainer Daily Insights. Hey, welcome back from the weekend. What we're going to do here is open up a browser window. We're going to take a look at the broad market by taking a look at representative indexes of our watch list, namely the Dow Jones Industrial Average, the Nasdaq Composite Index, and the S&P 500 Index. We're also going to take a look at the New York Stock Exchange Composite Index, but before we begin looking at any charts, team, I'm actually going to log into the Trading Trainer Learning Community web portal by going to login.tradingtrainer.com. And once I've logged into the Learning Community web portal, team, I'm actually going to ask you, if you're following along, to go ahead and go right to the Daily Insights tab and go right to the Recommendations sub-tab. Please go ahead and click on this. Pay attention to the recommendations we have for tomorrow's trading session. Also, you're going to find the Daily Insights audio commentary there. Please go ahead and play that audio commentary. Pay special close attention to the opening and closing comments. In the meantime, for this particular broad market analysis of this Charts of Interest video series, we're going to start off at our Index Stats sub-tab. What you're going to notice here is that we still have a neutral bearish trading bias. Our industrials gained 0.56% on light below average volume. Our tech stocks, shown by the Nasdaq Composite Index, gained 0.88% on light below average volume. Our large caps, shown by the S&P 500 Index, gained 0.6%. Our 100 best stocks out there, shown by the S&P 100, gained 0.52%. Our mid caps, shown by the S&P 400 Index, gained 0.61%. Our small caps, shown by the S&P 600 Index, gained 0.54%. Russell 2000 Index, another way to look at our small caps, gained 0.4%. New York Stock Exchange Composite Index gained 0.44%. Volatility dropped 1.07% down to 25.97. Remember, we really, you hear the trend becomes our friend, or the trend is our friend. It doesn't really happen when volatility of the broad market's up this high, when the VIX is that high. Gold index minus 1.8%, oil index 0.23%. Let's go ahead on. Let's check out our watch list tool. And we see that we do have a candidate that's been identified by our options trading candidate filter. We're going to go ahead and evaluate this candidate for liquidity and tradable patterns before including it in our watch list. Now let's go ahead on to our daily picks report. What I'd like to do here is actually take a closer look at volume and trends with respect to our indexes. And you can see that volume dropped considerably. It's well below what it was on Friday, well below the 50, well below the 200. The oscillator is pointing down. Our short duration trends are neutral. Our long duration trends are neutral except for the S&P 600, which shows a bearish long duration trend. Market is basically neutral, and today was, even if there was price movement, it was not backed by any volume confidence according to this report. Let's go ahead and take our templates here and apply them to our indexes to get kind of a qualitative idea what's going on. We got our reactive, our buffered, and our shaken templates. Reactive's coming up neutral. Our buffered action still is saying, hey, we're triggered for a swing down. Our short-term trend test is showing some bearish motion, probably left over from the swing down on Friday, but our trend reversal test has gone neutral on us, which kind of negates the trend test on us. And most importantly to what I'm seeing here, we see our Bollinger Band with index kind of at the, it's a range from 1 to 10, and we see it at a 6, which means it's a pretty wide channel. And our bar counter is high. It's up there, in most cases, above 20, which says we're channeling sideways. Let's take a look at some charts. We'll start off doing a user template on our indexes. Let's start with the Dow. Go ahead and expand this to full screen so you can see what I'm doing. So what you can do is you can actually see here that the Dow did drop considerably on Friday, but it kind of regained here, but on light volume. Let's take our notes. We have in our notes that support is at 10,000 and resistance is at 10,450. The 7, let's go ahead and take a look at the 7. The 7 is above the 30 and above the 50. We're talking about simple moving averages here. The 30 above the 50, not quite yet. The 50 above the 200, not quite yet. The 30-day simple moving average is actually trending up. The 50-day simple moving average is clearly trending down. The 200-day simple moving average is still trending up. We're going to call this a trading bias of neutral bearish right now, simply because of the down motion. We're not going to call this neutral until we can reclaim even this higher level of resistance. Let's take a look at the Nasdaq. Nasdaq has a very similar pattern. There's the light volume. Let's take a look at the 7. So the 7 is above the 30, but not quite above the 50. We've got the 30 above the 50, no. 50 above the 200, no. 30-day is trending down. 50-day trending down. 200-day trending up. We're between 2,100 and 2,250. We'll keep that. And then we've got our S&P 500. Again, notice this sideways motion. We're in a sideways choppy market. As option traders, we have strategies for profiting on sideways markets. Don't think that this is not tradable. Let's take a look at what we've got here. 1,020 to 1,100. 7. Is above the 30, but isn't above the 50. The 30 is not above the 50. The 50 is not above the 200. The 30-day is trending up. The 50-day is trending down. The 200-day is trending up. Neutral bearish. New York Stock Exchange Composite Index. We've got that same sideways choppy pattern. Going to stick with that neutral bearish. The VIX Volatility Index. Even it is showing this sideways choppy pattern. It dropped 1.07%. It is now at 25.97. Again, for you trend followers out there, seeing the VIX drop below 20 is something that I believe needs to be happening for our trend followers here. Here we go. Our overall trading bias, we're going to keep it at neutral bearish. Our broad market personality, we're going to call this a sideways choppy channel. Hey, that's all I've got for you. Remember, one last time, as option traders, we can profit if the market moves up, down, or sideways. We have strategies for all of these patterns. Just be able to read the charts, understand your options, pick them, and profit. That's all I've got for you. Please take care.